Good morning, flight simmers. This is Spanker, and we're on leg 3 of our round the world tour. It's going to be pretty much a short op, so we'll probably film the entire flight. We're going from Ushuaia, or however you pronounce this, flying roughly north to Rio Grande Airport in Argentina. We're looking then at the next leg is we're going to fly over to the Falklands Islands. So there was 2 airports I could really do it from, which is this one or this one up here. So I've decided to do this one. We'll fly over, have a look at the Falkland Islands. The leg after that, we're going to fly back to this airport. So I didn't really want to backtrack. Looking at Sky Vector, it looks like we have some weather. So we'll see what Active Sky Next brings for that, and I will see you all in the sim. Okay, we are back in the DA42. We're ready to make our departure to Rio Grande, and we've pretty much got a low cloud level. So we're going to start up. We'll turn the master switches on. Might as well do that, and the electrical, get all them on, fuel on, unlocked, parking brake set, start the left engine, turn that on while we're here. Oh. Start the right engine, that was a bit fiddly. Just going to change the units to hectopascals. And the flight plan, so the last one's still low, I'm just going to clear it and clear that. In a mountainous area, the clouds looks pretty low, so on the map I'm just going to put on terrain. Avionics master switch on. Position lights, we'll stick a taxi light on. We've got half a main tank, but we've only got a 66-mile run, so we should be okay with that. I'm going to bother that. Minus what? We'll stick the P2 heat on. Oh, that's already on. There we go. I'm not going to use the GPS for this, it's only a small run. We've got a VOR right at the airport, which is 117.3. Let's pick that up. We just need to change that to VOR 1. The course we're going to be tracking to that is about 005. Let's reset the altimeter because I've just been messing with that. And we have an ILS, so I'll just flick the ILS onto 109.5, I think it is. That's for runway 25. So I'll flick that back to my voice. So that's set, radios are set there. Everything else looks alright, so we will parking brakes off because I've just touched the brakes. I don't think there's anything else I need to set, is there? No, we'll get going. We're going to have to do a backtrack down this runway. Runway 25 we're going to be taking off at. Just a nice short hop before we refuel and head out towards the Falklands. That'll be a bit longer flight, maybe 2.5 to 3 hours. And I am determined to sort out the pedals by that time. It's far too sensitive. So I'll definitely have to set up a curve for them. It's not a null zone because the null zone just gives you nothing before you start. So I'd have a couple of centimetres of travel and then it'd still be just as sensitive. So it's definitely have to be something to do with a curve that we have to set up. See what I mean? That is way too sensitive for my liking. I did it a bit of differential brake, that probably didn't help. So just backtracking down runway 25. Shouldn't be any traffic. Traffic is on, but it's set on low. Far too sensitive. I can't even keep it straight at this speed. I don't know what the takeoff run's going to be like. Literally moving the pedals 1 centimetre there. But in other aircraft, the same setting is absolutely fine. C182. Fine. PMDG 737, fine. Just seems this aircraft doesn't like the same setting. Alright. Just going to turn it round here. I thought this was concrete, I'm actually on snow. What's a turning point? Let me just stick on our wings. Option 2 light. $15 knot takeoff. This is challenging, just keeping it straight.
Terrain. Terrain.
Right.
Terrain. 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 Terrain.
Just going to maintain runway heading to about 500 feet or so. Make a right turn towards north. So visibility is very poor. Right, we've picked up the void that's just come online. but I've no DME information on it, so I may have to just bump it into the GPS plan so I know how far I have to run. Looking through 1800 feet now, keeping that right turn on. Level them wings out and try and pick up that radial. So the terrain looks a lot better now. A couple of peaks there, but I'm sure I'll be well above them by the time I get there. Just want to break out of this this cloud before we flick on any autopilots. Bit of blue sky now, so we're coming through it. Let it come back towards that now. Looks like we're nearly through. Right, let's bump on our autopilot for our navigation, and then altitude we're going to go up to about 6,000. Terrain's clear on there. Nothing on there. So I don't know how far I am from our destination, because that is not happening to give us any distance information. I don't know why. just try and flick this to nav 2 and see what happens. No, nothing on there either. All I'll just quickly do is do a direct to, and it's oh, it's alright, 6 through that. This is awkward. I'm bouncing about. In fact, let's do it like this instead. Sierra Alpha Whiskey Echo? Is it Echo? We have got it, yeah. Right. So I'm not using GPS, but it'll give me a distance of 58 miles here to get there. Pretty much fogged in. How long have we got to get there? 16 minutes. 16 minutes, so looks like it's pretty uneventful now, so I'll pause this, jump to the approach. I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Okay, we're back. We've got about 15-16 miles to run, and I've dumped in the approach. I don't know what the weather's like. It looks to be clearing up a little bit, but I dumped in approach into GPS and flicked to GPS to fly the approach before I pick up the ILS. So I'm just going to pull the power back now and start a descent. 3,000 feet will be alright for initially. We had a bit of rain, no snow. Snow was gone. -8 outside, but we've got a 57 knot wind from the west, so it has been a little bit bumpy. Hopefully that'll drop right down to something manageable by the time we're landing. So this looks like the approach. We're going to fly directly over the airport, make a right loop and in for the ILS. So we've got the ILS set, we've got that. Let's just see if we can. Right, we've got DME on that. It must be that nav doesn't have DME information. So 9.4 miles. Oh, we've got some traffic. Still got the labels on. We've got a traffic taking off from that airport. Mooney Acclaim. Let's dump on here, see if we can see it. Yeah, there it is. Just flying away from us. So it looks very clear. Wind's starting to drop. 4,000 feet, still 50 knots at 4,000 feet. pull the power back a bit more, just slow us down a little bit. Okay, that seems like a good zoom. Still a 50 knot wind. It's just because I've got the throttles pulling back, it's just asking me to put the gear down, but we're a bit early for that yet. We don't really need the ILS, to be honest. We can fly this completely manual, there's no cloud whatsoever. But GPS is going to take us on the approach. It's the marker beacon. Oh, it's taking us, alright, so it's taking us the opposite way what I thought. I haven't zoomed in enough. It's taking us that way for a left and then looping. Okay, we've got a low fuel warning, still plenty of fuel. In fact, let's have a look. $500 worth of fuel. About 500 miles at 2.2 gallons per hour anyway. Strong tailwind here. Ready to make a left, there's no traffic. Then we'll get ready and get configured for landing. was slowing down a little bit too much there, so I'll just put on a bit of power. Plus we're going to be turning into quite a strong wind anytime, so we'll just need to counteract that. There's the runway. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick off the autopilot now, approach, and change this to ILS, change the course to I'm going to fly manually now. I'll put a gear down, stop that beeping. First stage of flaps is coming down as well. So we're almost doing the procedure, but it's just taking us out into the middle of nowhere really. So I'll pump the flight director on just to approach. Okay, glide slope's coming up. Gear is set, 3 greens on that. We've got approach flaps. Just above the glide slope now. Wind speed's coming down to 33. Lining that up for final approach and pull a bit of power on now. Just going to match that glide slope. Some trees that end at runway there, it looks like. One notch above it, but it's coming in line now on the glide slope. And the wind is slightly off the runway, so we'll just crabbing in a little bit. Now the rudder doesn't seem as sensitive on the pedals in flight. pull the full flaps down. Ground speed at ground speed's very low at the minute, but this wind seems to be dropping the lower we get. 20 knots now. Still coming down. Just want to bump a bit of rudder into, just turn into that wind a little bit. Our wind's coming down. For the numbers, still a 15 knot wind, so I've still got to put just a bit into the side and then just let it off there. Throttling back. Float down to runway. That weren't bad. A little bit off centre, but not too bad. A few more buildings at this one. Further north we go, the more scenery we get. Bring them flaps up. °2 outside. Let's go and park it up. We need some fuel for the next leg. The next leg I am going to do my own work on, so we shouldn't be fighting about planned and proper. Stop here. Parking brake set. Lights off. Avionics off. Lock fuel and cut. Engine master switches off. Off and bing. Right, next episode we're going to fly over to the Falkland Islands, see what they bring us. We're going to fly into Port Stanley, I think, rather than the military base there. But I'll talk more about that in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.